you're susceptible to someone pushing you with a caustic. You have to be very careful that if anyone wants your building, say from epicenter, from behind you, that they could go and do that. And we're at such a high level here that whenever you see whatever compositions people are running, if you feel like your composition counters that, you go and push that immediately. So if you go and scout this and say, okay, they're running Revenant, Crypto, Wraith, and I'm running a caustic team, you should have that flip in your head where that switch flips off and you go, okay, guys, we need to push this because we do have the advantage just off our composition alone. And that's something that we haven't seen in the past.
Here we are over at Jiril as the Golden Guardians in a little bit of trouble, but Timmy connects with some massive shots there, surviving with 2 HP. They'll be able to hold on here, get the res onto Bronzy, and they're relatively safe. It doesn't look like anyone's ready to third party, and so they'll be able to stabilize and move on in.
And I feel like this is the composition that we're going to see more often than not. I feel like Watson is going to slowly get replaced with Caustic. I feel like people are going to still play Gibraltar because it gives you that option of going and using that Wraith portal and still playing the edge. And if you see people aren't running Watson, that Gibraltar ult is just that much more devastating. So more action happening here as it's going to be Metro, Naughty, and Forcey trying to figure out what's going on with a team above them. And sometimes it's better just to back off. You don't have the height advantage, try to reset and take that building that you were holding before. But this broken building, how hard is it without a Watson? We were talking about it before. They still haven't held down Jamerson, so great job here. And they're also adding aggression. So it doesn't seem like they're worried too much about holding the spot.
I just worry about their economy at this point. As you can see, Metro is just sitting on that one bad. I don't know how much else they have. Eventually in the future, I imagine we will be able to see people's inventories to really understand exactly what they're sitting at in terms of economy and utility. Oh, Metro, you got to be careful. You can't meme around trying to get up on that high ground. There we go. Gets behind some cover, and there we get to see that he does have 7 cells. Would have probably liked to have saved that because we are still in the mid game of this round.
And he loses some more, so you're right, the resources are going to be a problem, and that's why this spot is difficult without a Watson. Again, you have to watch out for the amount of people that are trying to take you down with these long-range weapons. I'm not sure exactly what he got tagged with right there, but losing 75 HP immediately and now only down to a couple of cells. So the team that was on the high ground above TSM is going to be a Caustic team. So I'm curious to see if they're going to try to get aggressive. I don't believe they have as good at armors as TSM, and they also have to worry about their back, and they're setting up a little ambush here, sneaky in the corner.
It looks like TSM actually spotted them out. I'm taking a look at TSM right now, and there are pings going over into that direction, and they are getting ready for this push. If we go on over to TSM, they're on the low ground here. They're going to try and creep on in from the left, and look, Reps, he's got that drone ready for this as well, just to make sure that their flanks are clear. Now they're just going to crouch walk on up, making no noise.
Smart play here coming in from TSM, and we saw the armors that was on girls' team. I believe it was 2 whites and a blue armor when you're going up against all purples. And also you have this crypto drone coming in. Almost your entire team is going to be 100 HP after this thing pops off. So looks like Rep's just using that for information. Does probably have his EMP up. If they wanted to use it, they could. And you also have all of the resources up right now for TSM. You have the Revenant ult as well, that Death Totem. You have the portal coming in from Hell. So they have a lot of different options on how they want to play this one. And again, you're seeing a different play style of them playing the edge of the map, not pushing in here. The Pathfinder teams have won the first 2 games, but I wouldn't be surprised to see TSM try to drop a 10 to 15 kill game here because that's what they're going to need to try to win this tournament.
Z Davis dropped down low here as Borden will go back, set up the Watson generator for his team on top of construction at this point. Now on board with the Golden Guardians, who are here on the west side of Fragment. Timmy's going to be able to pop that res as they do control both doors with those barrels. Now he's going to go ahead and go to the high ground. Again, find time for his team. Allow Bronte to get that battery off. As now Timmy making ingress into this building here as he clears the traps. Narrowly missing that one player that's crawling out, and he will be able to get this thirst.
Important thirst here for Golden Guardians, getting those kill points. They have fantastic armors, a decent amount of kill points already in this game. Good positioning here as well. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen as we do have a crypto drone being pulled out, but looks like another EMP possibly took him out of his drone. So he has to reset there, hit a couple of cells, and You could see people on that 3-story building there just waiting for this fight to go down. And this is what we were talking about now as the rotations are starting to come in. If you see a crypto drone coming out, it's just a giant flare in the air, just like it would be a defensive bombardment where you say, okay, guys, there's a fight happening here. And that just signals blood in the water for the rest of these sharks. They're going to try to get in on that.
We see though how small of a window you have to work off that EMP. Even though the EMP connected onto almost all of TSM, the fact that you don't have a Wraith portal already set up to continue that push instantly afterwards meant that that push was already over. Ooh, Phonyhead taking a massive nade as he tries to control the medical building over here up top. And this is where things are going to start getting spicy as the circle gets closer and closer here on Fragment East this time around. I haven't actually seen a circle pull out here in quite some time.
Yeah, this is a good circle for the building that they're currently in, because you can see they are very centered, most likely going to be inside of the next one as Golden Guardians playing the edge of the circle with this Gibraltar. And with this Caustic, they are maybe expecting the circle to go on, like you were saying, the opposite side of Fragment here, but it does pull on over towards the east side. And I really like the fact that, again, they have solid armor here. They're able to work together. They seem to be on the same page, playing cohesively. Keep in mind that they did die earlier in the previous game, in game number 2. So again, they're in this similar situation with a lot of these teams where Godsent came out so hot in the previous games. Everybody knows 44 points is a lot to make up. So expect everybody to really bring their A game if they weren't already doing so, and just more action happening here on this 4th circle.
Yeah, here's the third party coming in from the Golden Guardians. I love what they did. They cleared out that building first while that fight was taking place, and now they're going to go ahead and push forward. NWA's Tony getting chunked down to 10 HP, and it looks like Golden Guardians will be able to clean that up right now. Timmy and the squad, they are sitting on 10 kill points.
This, again, great situation to be in with these gold armors. They have cleared out virtually everybody, and when you are starting to feel it, when you pick up those 10 kill points, it's just going to continue to happen over and over again. So Golden Guardians really trying to get into this top 3 here, and this could be the game to do it.
We have to also remember, right, at the beginning of this game, Godsent went down early. Rogue are still in it. They don't have Snipe Down anymore, but this is their opportunity to really close that gap up against Godsent. We're still in the top 8, though, so they need to really try and survive. Currently, they only have 3 kill points. So try to make it into the top 5, maybe pick up an extra kill points or 2 here, and close that gap up against Godsent.
No doubt about it. Rogue could be the team to do it too, especially with only 2 players. We've seen them do things before, ridiculous things, but look at TSM now. You have the red Evo shield in Reps' hands. They're feeling it as well. Golden Guardians feeling this is going to be a fantastic end game here. I'm expecting to see a lot of ults coming in and being used. You're going to have Reps with the drone and the EMP soon. You're going to have the Death Totem coming out of Alberilli. This is going to be a very fun end game.
We're getting to that point where the size of the circle is basically the size of an EMP. He's gonna farm so much stats. He's gonna hit for like 600 off of 1 EMP. As TSM making a nice rotation. I like this. Going over to the north side, they kind of expect that there aren't going to be as many teams here. That the majority of the fighting and majority of the teams are going to be at the south. And so this is actually TSM almost going back to their old playstyle, kind of adjusting up the tempo. I like this a lot.
Yeah, and if you're able to get into a safe place with this crypto drone, you're going to be able to get so much information on what third parties are going to come, what rotations you want to take. And now it looks like Golden Guardians taking over the broken building that we were seeing being held earlier. And they're just going to continue to advance with barrels. Now, it has rotated all the way towards the opposite side underneath the bridge. So it's a tough spot for them to be in. And they're going to have to pull something off here with a Wraith portal. So it's going to come down to Lyric getting as much information as we take a look at the minimap. So many players already inside of that circle. They're most likely not going to fight. They're all going to probably try to hold people out together on multiple levels of whatever building that they're in. So the rotation is going to be very difficult. And that's exactly what Nasky's trying to do here, is just trying to clear out this side, make sure no one's over here, and they're going to have to rotate in, because if anyone's on your side right now with 40 seconds left, it's going to be extremely hard to rotate. So you're going to see more fights, more action happening within 20 seconds as players try to rotate on and clear out their backs as they try to make their map rotation inside.
If you're Godsent, you like to see that right there. Sweet going down, but Dropped is still alive, so he's going to try his best to rat this out. Remember, Rogue were 12 points behind Godsent just before this, but now with 15 seconds left to go, Dolphin, RPR, and Nasky have to make their rotation. We saw earlier on, TSM took the position. They were able to get the circle pull on over to them now, but it's going to be Sentinels playing on top of the tracks here. Nice position for them. Don't know who's going to be able to contest them. It's going to be Reps with a nice angle here.
The thing about Reps is exactly he doesn't have a spot to go and get into his drone, so he just finds a spot, and now he's going to try to get as much information as possible. As you were saying, Jamerson, we're down to that point where the EMP is exactly the size of the circle almost, so he's going to be able to hit a big one here. As you can see, Hal trying to get as much damage down on the guy across the wall as possible. You do have Reps still in that drone form. Al really taking some damage over towards the side, but he's still in a safe spot. And now this is the big fight for TSM if they want to win this game.
That's Bronzy and Timmy going down for the Golden Guardians as Lyric will be finished off by Borton. Dropped, finds one on to purge his K-Swinny, and that was massive as K-Swinny himself, I believe, was a rat. So now we are into the top 4. Dropped will be finished off. And so, we don't know if Rogue have done quite enough yet. Reps with one more kill on to Borton. It's just Z Davis left for that squad. On board with Dolphin, RPR, and Nasky playing the south side here. And it's Sentinels on top of the bridge. Again, we're back to that situation. It's a full 3v3v3 once again, but take a look at how the ring is just right there in the center. And so, no team having an advantage, I would say, in terms of the speed of the zone closing on them.
Well, I would say that one team that's at a disadvantage right now would be TSM because of the fact that they don't have a Watson, and you have multiple damage outcomes coming in from a Gibraltar ult, from a Caustic ult. You don't have anything to defend that. You don't have a bubble of your own. You don't have Watson ult to go and lay down, and here comes the push coming in from TSM. They said, we're just going to get aggressive and not even wait for the ult to lay down. Peacekeeper shots coming in from Hal, and they are getting extremely aggressive.
But Sentinels are here. It's the same thing that we saw in game number 2. It's the last team that waits to strike, and it's Sentinels coming in to finish it off. But a great effort by TSM.
What a game there. What a game from all players involved. And it's kind of the golden rule, right, Jamerson? You just got to be patient in those type of scenarios. Don't try to force anything. And I believe all teams were aware that it was full stacks of squads going on. No rats there, so there wasn't any confusion like in game number 2. Just so happens that TSM got a little bit too over-aggressive. Maybe they understood the circumstance where, hey, we don't have any ults, and these guys most likely have their utility. So they decide that they want to get aggressive with the Peacekeeper, charge that bubble, and it doesn't work out because you do have Sentinels coming in with the cleanup. So just fantastic gameplay all around, and I was really impressed with a lot of different teams, mainly Golden Guardians with the amount of kills that they were able to put together. If they ended up winning that game, we could have saw them possibly pushing in over towards that top 3, but now we had Sentinels win that game. Previously it was Rogue, and before that it was Godsent. So 3 different teams going and taking victories here.
Yeah, and so that actually opens up the leaderboard with Rogue and Godsent not being able to have, you know, a big performance here in game number 3. That does allow a lot of teams to try and move up and catch up to them, especially Sentinels. They ended up having 8 kill points along with the 12 placement points from coming in first. Dolphin, Nasky, and RPR had 7 kill points themselves, finishing in second, just ahead of TSM. So TSM just not able to do enough, even though they had that initiative. They made that first push onto the squad. They got the first knocks. They just weren't able to finish them off. Sentinels just cutting them off just in the nick of time. But TSM still, they had 11 kill points in that last game.
It's amazing to think that Golden Guardians and TSM wiped out a third of the lobby just between those 2 teams. So 2 teams that were playing the edge, most likely playing one opposite edge and the other. Golden Guardians on one side, TSM on the other side, just converging on in towards the fragment side. And it's so exciting to see all these different type of play styles. And again, I think this was the one game that we didn't see a Pathfinder team win there. So it's interesting to see how it all kind of plays out, where in terms of being in these close quarter areas, it's going to be nicer to have that Caustic on your team. It's going to be nice to have that Gibraltar if you need to go and play Edge. And it's been really exciting seeing all these different teams. We even have Bloodhound being used again here by girls teams. So it's been extremely exciting to say the least. And it's unfortunate for TSM that I don't think that they were able to pick up those 2 kills, even though that they were able to get those 2 downs. So even though those kills don't go over to Sentinels, they're able to stop TSM from getting those kill points, which would have eventually led them to 13.
That would have been a huge swing. That would have been a huge swing if TSM could have gotten second there. But again, the most important fact is that Rogue weren't able to put on